Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Lady Macbeth's speech from Macbeth Act 1, Scene 5. Let's have an introduction about the author, that is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is known as the most famous dramatist in the English language. Shakespeare wrote more than 30 plays. These are usually divided into four categories: histories, comedies, tragedies, and romances. His earliest plays were primarily comedies and histories, such as Henry VI and the Comedy of Errors. But in 1596, Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet, his second tragedy. His best known works are Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra. In his final years, Shakespeare turned to the romantic with Cymbeline, A Winter's Tale, and The Tempest. I want to give a background to the text that Shakespeare's play Macbeth, first performed in 1606. Let's have a look at the background of the text. Macbeth is a commander in the Scottish army and the Thane of Glamis. A Thane was a nobleman who held lands. Macbeth was returning home after winning a battle against Norway. He is met by three witches who prophesy that he shall become the Thane of Cawdor and then the King of Scotland. Afterwards, Macbeth finds out that the Scottish king has made him the Thane of Cawdor. Astonished, Macbeth sends a letter to his wife informing her about the witch's predictions. This scene begins with Lady Macbeth reading her husband's letter and anticipating arrival. So we are moving into the text. The scene of this text is Macbeth's castle in Scotland. So in this scene, we can see Macbeth's wife, that is Lady Macbeth, is entering with a letter. Whose letter? Her husband's letter. Let's move into the text. The text is mentioned in italics. They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect test report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished, whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it. Came missives from the king, who all hailed me, Thane of Cawdor, by which title, before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail King that shall be. So let us have a look at the meaning of all these sentences. So this text is in Old English. So sometimes it may be difficult to convert all these things, but I'm trying my best to convey the right meaning. So the meaning of this text goes like this. Macbeth is mentioning all the incidents that happened in his life to his wife. So he is mentioning in the letter that he is met by the three witches after winning a battle against Norway. So they met me in the day of success. So the day of success refers to the battle against Norway. So what happened is that he won the battle. Macbeth won the battle. On the way back after this victory, he is met by three witches, and these three witches have more wisdom than mortal knowledge. They have more in them than mortal knowledge. They disappear before Macbeth can ask them any questions. What happened is that after telling all these prophecies to Macbeth, suddenly these three witches disappeared or vanished into the air. Before asking questions to these three witches, they disappeared. Suddenly, Macbeth got a message from the king that he is appointed as Thane of Cawdor. So, suddenly, after this victory, after this meeting with these three witches, he got a message from the King of Scotland that he is appointed as Thane of Cawdor. Before this incident, these three witches saluted Macbeth and mentioned as Hail King that shall be. In the first part, we can see that these three witches are just saluting Macbeth. Macbeth, I'm telling that Hail King that shall be means Macbeth will become king. So what happened is that after hearing all these prophecies, suddenly he got a news from the king that he is appointed as Thane of Cawdor. What happened is that one of the prophecy is fulfilled. So the next prophecy is going to fulfill, that is that he is going to become the king of Scotland. So let's move into the next part. This have I thought, good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart and farewell. So this is a last part of the letter. That is, Macbeth is writing to his wife that I thought it is better to share this news with you, my close partner. So, who is a close partner? Yeah, it's his wife. And the last part, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart and farewell. So, Macbeth is telling his wife is that please don't miss out on the joy that comes from knowing the greatness promised to you. Reflect on this deeply and goodbye. So here it is, lay it to thy heart and farewell. It means that you have to reflect on this deeply and goodbye. So Macbeth is mentioning about that actually he's mentioning that he already become the Thane of Cawdor and next he's going to become the King of Scotland. So he is mentioning to his wife that please don't miss out on the joy that comes from knowing the greatness promised to you. So, what is the greatness promised to her? That once he becomes the King of Scotland, she is also a part of his greatness. That is, that she is going to become the queen. So, we are moving in the next part. Glemes thou art, and Cawdor, and shall be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. So, in the last part, we saw um, all about the letter. But in this part, we can hear the soliloquy that is delivered by Lady Macbeth. Soliloquy means an act of speaking one's thoughts aloud when by oneself or regardless of any hearers, especially by a character in a play. So, this part is all about Lady Macbeth's soliloquy. Let's have a look into the soliloquy. Glemes thou art, and shall be what thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full O milk of human kindness, to cast the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. So here are some thoughts of Lady Macbeth, and all these thoughts are coming out in the form of soliloquy. So the meaning of all these dialogues, that is, you are Glemis and Corder, and you will become everything you have been promised. So all these are the dialogues that is delivered by Lady Macbeth aloud. That is, she is telling to her husband, you are Glemis and Corder, and you will become everything you have been promised. Yet, I fear your nature. It is too filled with kindness to take the quickest path to greatness. You possess ambition but lack the ruthless drive that should accompany it. So she is mentioning about her husband. Few we can see few traits of her husband. That is, she is fearing about his nature. Why? Because he is a person too filled with kindness to take the quickest path to greatness. At the same time, he possesses ambition, but he lacks the ruthless drive that should accompany it. He is a focused person. He has many ambition, but he don't have that ruthless drive that should accompany it. Then next, thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou wholly. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou dost have great glemis. That which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it. And that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hide thee, hide, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. So she is mentioning to her husband that what you desire deeply, you would pursue honorably. You wouldn't deceive others, yet you would achieve your goals in a way that feels wrong. You great Glemis would have what dictates you must do this. If you have it along with what you fear doing more than you wish you hadn't done. Come here so I can whisper my thoughts in your ear and empower you with my words to overcome anything blocking your path to the crown, which fate and spiritual forces seem to promise you. So she is mentioning to her husband in the form of a soliloquy that you are an ambitious person, but you don't have that drive to pursue all those things. At the same time, she is advising her husband, come here. I can whisper my thoughts in your ear. I will tell you few things how to reach that throne, and I will just convey my thoughts how to overcome anything blocking your path to the crown, which fate and spiritual forces seem to promise you. So she is the one who is taking initiative how he can reach that ground. So sometimes we actually we are like some people are taking shortcuts to reach our goals, but here she is also she's also going to do some shortcuts to reach that crown. In other words, we can see that we can tell she's planning to do something, and she's planning to deliver different paths to the crown. Next part. So in the last part, we can see few dots. This dots refers to Lady Macbeth's soliloquy is interrupted by the arrival of a messenger who announces that Duncan, the King of Scotland, The very person whose murder she was contemplating at that moment will be visiting the Macbeth's castle that night as a guest. The short exchange has been left out this extract. So, in this particular text, the message or the conversation between Lady Macbeth and the messenger is left out. So, let us move in the last part. The raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan. So, what the messenger said that tonight Duncan, the King of Scotland, is visiting their palace as a guest. So, what she's trying to do is that she is planning for a murder. So, in the last part, it's all about actually, we can see that the symbol of death. The raven himself is horse. Raven means a large, heavily built crow with mainly like black color. So black denotes something that related with darkness or something that related with death. So she is mentioning the raven himself is horse. Raven himself is horse means ref that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan. Even the crow is um, even the crow knows about the coming of Duncan. Duncan, who is Duncan? Duncan is the present king of Scotland. Under my battlements. Battlements means a low wall along the edge of a roof or balcony in a fort or castle. So she's mentioning that King of Scotland, that is Duncan, is entering into the balcony in a fort into our castle. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. So she is planning to kill the king of Duncan. Why? Because her husband already became the Thane of Cawdor, and the only one prophecy that is left is that her husband will become the King of Scotland. So, what this lady is thinking that this is the right time to become the King of Scotland. That is about her husband. Okay, so she is planning to kill this present king, that is Duncan, and this is the right opportunity to kill Duncan. Why? Because then her husband can become the King of Scotland. And in the last part of this text, she is inviting spirits, and this is not about good spirits. She is asking evil spirits, and she's asking them to come and fill her with human thoughts that is filled with murder, cruelty, and she's asking those spirits to just fill me with the thoughts of cruelty, and she's asking those spirits that please take all the traits of femininity from her and fill her with darkest cruelty from head to toe, and she is asking all the spirit to fill her with cruelty from head to toe. So she is going to kill. Lady Macbeth is planning to kill the Duncan, who is the king of Scotland. So this is all about the text. Hope you all enjoyed this lesson. Thank you so much. Keep watching.